What's up, guys? Good morning. I'm parked where my boat usually sits, which means my boat is gone. I had to, my last trip with Paul, right when we got into to load the boat, my engine messed up. I don't know what's wrong with it. Something with the gears or whatever. But anyway, on the way home, it was quite a day. On the way home, my air conditioner kind of conked out in my truck, and I don't know if it was just because, I had pulled that boat all the way down to, it was like a, hour, no, it was like a 2-hour drive to where I get it fixed. I don't get it fixed in Savannah. I have a place that I fully trust to fix my boat. They have always been good in the past, so I am willing to drive the extra hour to get my boat where I feel good. If you ever have a mechanic or somebody that works on your house or whatever that you trust, it's smart to stay with them. But anyway, on the way back, the air conditioner kind of conked out, and I was like, I was just so, and it was kind of hot, so what I did is I rolled down the windows. And when I rolled down the windows, that literally was a squirrel. I just got sidetracked by a squirrel in the road. But anyway, let's press on. So, guy walking down the road. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just roll down the windows. And I'll just ride down the road, with the windows down. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, I have not done that probably in like 20 years. It was so fun. I had the best time by myself riding down the road with the windows down. And in the past, it's like, well, I don't want to roll the windows down because it's like totally opposite of the way it used to be. You wanted to roll the windows down because you didn't have air conditioning. And I mean, you immediately rolled down. It was like, yes, I'm rolling down these windows. Now it's like, I don't want to roll down the windows. I'm not going to be able to hear the radio, and all this kind of stuff. And so, now we don't even consider it. I'm going to get pollen in my car, and it's going to, but it was like 180 degree turnaround, not a 360 turnaround. If anybody ever tells you I did a 360 degree turnaround, they went right back to the same spot. They just turned all the way around to the same. So don't do a 360 turnaround, do a 180 for you guys that don't. So that's geometry. But anyway, see, I use geometry. Everybody thought you wouldn't ever use it. I use it all the time. So anyhow, back then, this is becoming a nightmare from the 70s video, is what it's becoming. Because back then, you roll down your windows. If you had air conditioning, now I get this from my dad, if you did happen to have air conditioning in your car, you didn't want to wear it out. So you never used the air conditioning. I don't know why you would even have it in a car, because you never use the air conditioning. It's going to run out, and then you're not going to have air conditioning. So don't use the air conditioning, because you're going to run it. So if we did have a car that had air conditioning, we didn't use it. But a lot of the cars didn't have it at all. And so like back then, I knew, okay, you're going to have a hard time with this one. But back then I knew that if I rolled down that window, and you had the little side vent window, and so you had everything rolled down, and you're going down the road, it's going to mess up your hair. It's going to blow cigarette ashes all over the place. If you smoke cigarettes, they're going to go all over the car. You didn't have to tap your ashes because the wind blew the ashes off your cigarette. But anyway, it messed your hair up. You'd get somewhere and you'd just be sweating or whatever. Everybody, when you pulled up to a light, would hear your music and all that kind of stuff. I just hated it. I just like, I don't want to roll down. I wish I had air conditioning. I wanted air conditioning so bad, so I didn't have to mess up my hair, and I didn't have to, I would look at people that had their windows rolled up, and I would just think, God, that would be so nice to have your windows. So the other day, when I did that and I rolled my windows down, I loved it. I had completely forgotten. I was letting the wind blow. It didn't mess up my hair. It didn't mess it up at all. My hair looked exactly the same when I got through riding down the freeway as it did when I got up that morning. No change whatsoever. It didn't mess up my hair. I was so happy. And I got some news for you. These radios in these cars today are a lot better and louder than the ones when we were kids. I was like, well, if I roll my windows down, I'm not going to be able to hear my radio. Well, I didn't have any problem at all hearing the radio. I just turned it up. So I'm riding down the road. I get into town or whatever. I got my windows down. My hair is looking great. And I'm playing my music, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, that's Bachman Turner Overdrive. Yep, Steely Dan, Atlanta Rhythm Section. I'm listening to this music. It's turned way up. The windows are down. My hair looks good. I was just happy. It was so, I don't know. I just hadn't done it in so long. I mean, you just felt like you were flying or something. I had my arm out the window doing all the things with my hands. It's like I was just happy as a clam. And I was thinking about really freaking some people out and using hand signals to turn, like your left turn and your right turn signals with your arm and your stop and all that kind of stuff. But that would have there would be people like going, what's that guy doing? Has he got a gun? Why is his arm sticking out of the window? They would have had no clue. I guess they still teach that, drivers that, I don't know. But anyway, I was thinking about doing that, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get the police called on me. So I was already playing the loud music, looking crazy. So I just had a blast. And man, I was riding down the road and the wind's going through everything. And I was thinking, man, I bet I'm going 100 miles an hour. And I looked down and I was going like 45. It seemed like I was going real fast because of the wind. And so, see, it's safe. You should do that because it's much safer for you because you're probably not going to speed. Back then, when I rolled down the windows, it was always, I was always going, I was Ricky Bobby. I wanted to go fast, How fast can I go? I would look down. It seems like I'm going 40. And, I'm going 90. If my car would go 90. But anyway, all the things back then was, with the window down, it's like the opposite now. It was just a joy. I'm thinking about doing it again. The only problem is if I did it again, like right now, you guys wouldn't be able to hear anything but the wind. So you can't video. You can't do a video with your windows down. I wish I could, because I'm ready to do it again. It was so much fun. And the other thing, like back then, it'd be the same way now. This one's the same from the 70s to now. If you did roll the window down, you better know how to speak up, because nobody in the car can hear you. Like back then, I guess we just talked really loud, and it wasn't a place for people to talk like you got marbles in your mouth. If those windows are down and you're going 50, 60, 70 miles an hour and you're on the interstate or whatever, you better be talking out loud, making sure everybody can hear you. And now we're so used to it being quiet and very, it's just so serene. You turn on your music and it's so, we need more action. If you're retired or you're older, you need more action in your life. Next time you drive somewhere, I don't care if you drive 25 miles an hour, and you only drive down to the pharmacy, into the grocery store, roll down the windows. Turn your radio on and listen to, listen to Chicago or something, and just have a good time, and let the wind mess your hair up or blow your wig off. And if people look at you funny, it's okay. You're old. You're halfway crazy anyway. Just let them look at you. Wave at them. Don't do hand signals. you can wave at them. And you know, if you can get your hands on some cigarettes, you know, throw them in your lips. Just have them hanging down, or it's just barely hanging on your lip, and just let the ashes go wherever. Roll down every window you got, and open the vents. Do it, I mean, just wide open. 25 miles an hour going down to the pharmacy. You'll know people. Talk about people looking at you like you're crazy. One of the funniest things that ever happened to my family is that I have an aunt, and she was getting ready to go into a convenience store. She had parked in the parking lot in the convenience store, and her lips were chapped, and so she grabbed some chapstick, and you know how you just really rub it in and get it all over your lips really good, you know, especially when they're really chapped. And so she just, you know, took care of them lips really good. She said, I got out of my car and I went in a convenience store, and it's a real small town where she lives. I mean, real rural, really small. And she got out and she's walking around, and she said everybody in that convenience store was just like, they'd look at her and then they'd go, they were just staring at her, and she was like, why is that guy staring at me? And then she went up to pay, and then the guy at the cash register was just like, did a double take, like, and so she didn't understand why everybody was looking at her like that. And she went and got in her car, and then went to fix her rearview mirror and looked in the rearview mirror, and she had picked up her lipstick instead of her chapstick, and she said her lips were she said I looked like some kind of crazy clown. So do that. Fix your lips up, look like a crazy clown. Let your hair blow. Just drive around town. Just have a good time. You'll probably be the only person riding around town with your window down, the way it is now. So I just had a blast. I really did. I was riding back, and I was just thinking, I don't have a care in the world. But I had just dropped off my boat. It's probably going to cost no telling how much. My air conditioner wasn't working, and I had a bunch of stuff to do when I got home. But I felt like I didn't have a care in the world just because my window was down. I just felt like I was back in the day, you know, or whatever. So anyway, nightmare from the 70s. No AC in the car. Roll down your window. Make the best of it. Thanks for watching, guys.